All right, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about NFTs, Marvel, and just everything Vivo and NFT related. I've got my boy Doctor Strange on the channel here. He's put out content with on the channel himself. So some of you may be familiar with him, and he has a lot more knowledge. I have zero knowledge when it comes to NFTs and Marvel and whatnot. I'm gonna go ahead and take off my glasses because of the glare. And um, so once again, thank you, Strange, for hooking me up with my very first NFT earlier today. He hooked me up with the first Marvel. You know what? I can show it right here, can't I?
Hey, hey.
So I go where again? I go.
All right, so at the top, all right, this is perfect learning experience. This is a new thing actually to the app. So at the top left, you see how it says digital collectibles? You
Yes,
can
sir.
click that. Now you see how it says digital comics?
Yes, sir.
You can click
Oh,
that's everything available that's coming out. Those are the three different ones that are coming out. Now, as far as what you have on the bottom, second one in is collection. Try clicking that.
okay. I got you.
Right now at the top again, hit digital collectibles, hit comics. Now my comics. Now, hold on. Now, if you was to click the image, it's gonna load up the book. But if you see that little eye there in the circle,
Yeah.
try clicking that. Right. So now scroll down. So now that gives you information about the comic. You know what I'm saying? You can sell it from here. You can transfer it back to me. It says that you own it. You know what I'm saying? It tells you what edition number it is. Marvel, issue one, 64 pages, whole 9 yards. The writers, artists, all of that.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. I love it,
Absolutely. You're welcome. You're welcome.
bro.
That's a, that's a belated B-Day present right there.
Yes, for sure, man. I owe you, man. This is big time right here. My very first NFT, something I wanted to get into. I think the future is this. Call me crazy, call me whatever you want to call me, but I really do feel that there is a place for this, and we're scratching the surface. As we were talking about this earlier, just like when the internet first came out, we were looking at email and how that was crazy and blah 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 and all of that. And look what the internet. Look, we're talking. We're able to do this. We're sharing this, doing screen share. This would if
Right.
you would have told me I would be doing this, I would have been like, you're crazy. I,
Well,
I, I got a
what
phone. I got to
equipment?
punch in
Like,
my numbers. I got one phone in the house. I don't have even call waiting.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine, look at where we are. So this
Right.
NFT, people, we were talking about Ready Player One. How you were saying that, that kind of influences. Go ahead, go ahead. I don't want to speak for you.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, that's pretty much where we're going to. And the guys that started this company, VEVE, I believe they saw that were inspired and they figured that is the future. So, right now they don't have a lot of collectibles that are interactive per se. They do have some. Like a couple of weeks ago, they did a Spider-Man drop, and that's one of the first NFTs that literally you click on it and he does a bunch of different animations and stuff. So it's moving along, man, and it's definitely going to progress. And eventually they're going to have these collectibles to where you'll be able to place them together. Because right now you can only place like one down at a time when you're inside of the augmented reality, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But eventually they'll have it to where you can put down multiple collectibles and then they might interact with each other, or specific ones might interact in specific ways when they're around others, things like that. Then, like I was saying, they did a DeLorean drop, a couple months back, and they have three different sizes, three different rarity amounts, and all of that stuff. Some are interactive, some are not, some are static. But all of these vehicles and stuff are going to be drivable one day. And definitely where we're going is, like I was saying, I took a picture with Spider-Man, with my Spider-Man upside down, hanging from a tree one day, and I posted that. But who's to say they can't make it to where that leaves an actual image inside of their app? And then, when you're traveling or whatever, you might fire up your app and they have a little feature like Pokemon Go where you can see where all the collectibles are placed around you in the real world. And then you could either see it through your phone or maybe just throw on some shades they come out with or some clear glasses. And you could just see everything around you, much less you might be able to interact with them. It's no telling what could happen because, I mean, when I take my DeLorean and I blow it up full size to the same size of my car I'm in right now, I've messed around and literally sat in my car and through my phone, I'm seeing as if I'm in a DeLorean because I just matched it up perfect. So, they have stuff where this stuff's going to be drivable. They're supposed to have tracks possibly coming out. You got racing events. Like sky's the limit. They got football NFTs coming. They signed a deal with NFL. So
That's
sky's the
crazy.
limit.
That's crazy. So, all right. So, I'm gonna back up a little bit because I know we jumped around a little bit there. So pretty much NFT. What break it down for somebody who never even heard of that acronym NFT? What is an
Right.
NFT?
I am no specialist in this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm fairly new to all of this stuff myself, but from what I'm gathering, it's called a non-fungible token. And non-fungible tokens run on a thing called Ethereum blockchain. That's all you pretty much need to know, kind of sort of, is like, everything that's created on this blockchain is minted to a degree. You know what I mean? It's all traceable, and a certain percentage of what they call gas is burned to make an NFT. You know what I'm saying? And from there, it's like, crypto is involved. So like VEVE, for example, when you want to buy something, you buy it in gems, but you're basically converting USD into gems. Now, what are the gems? The gems are backed by uh, crypto. You know what I'm saying? So they actually have their own, uh, I guess you could say, crypto on the market. It's called OMI. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, as the OMI flows, you know what I'm saying? That's where it goes.
I,
So as you can see there, know what I'm saying, you're able to buy gems. You can't buy them in $1 increments, it's $5 increments. So if you got a weird number, like, tomorrow's drop for the comics are going to be $6.99, $7. You would just plot plan around that, or if you own other collectibles already, you might put them on the market and like, hey, just because it's like the deadline and you don't know if someone's going to buy it or not, you might say, oh, this is a crazy serial number and all, but I might have to sell this for whatever the floor is if I want this $200 right now. That's what the floor is, regardless of what my serial is. If I set it at 200, I know it'll be seen and someone's going to scoop it up. So that's where, when you hit that market button down there, it starts getting real crazy. So to your bottom right, by profile is market, and that's where it all goes down, man. So I would go to browse brands, scroll down a little, and scroll to your right, and then you'll see a gray tab, and then you're gonna hit that, and you'll see all the brands all the way.
right here.
Keep going. That's nothing. That's light work. Hit that view all. This is all the licenses they have so far. Scroll down from there.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And this is nothing. This is we're just getting started.
Wow. Wow. You got Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, DC, Marvel, straight up Spider Man, Marvel Mighties. Wow. This is crazy.
It's crazy.
So okay. So Superman. Okay. So they obviously can. All right. So the way it works is you have an NFT. It's backed by the blockchain. which is for, it's like Bitcoin, but it's Ethereum. It works differently. You can with Ethereum, you use we don't have to go into the nuts and bolts of it. I do know a little bit about that stuff. Ethereum, I'm sorry, about NFTs. I don't know anything about, but blockchain, I know a little. So pretty much it's backed by that. And so what happens is, like, for instance, all these collectibles that are made, there's a limit to them. They made 60,000 of that Marvel issue number 1, and you went and you bought a couple of them,
Right.
and they're not going to make more than 60,000. That's it. It's a wrap. It's done.
So, yeah.
And so you paid $7 or 7 gems. You put in your USD, you convert it into gems, which are pretty much block a coin, and so you go ahead and buy
Only.
your collectible.
Yeah.
And when you buy this collectible, you have a rare chance of getting a small percent chance of getting a what you call it, a rare, super rare.
Right.
And so
Right. Depends on whatever they have for that particular drop. Yeah. You go back. So like I was showing you even before, hit store bottom left.
so right here I'm looking at sold out. So you got me one of these. It says here one edition. Oh, here we go. Here we go. So these are the different variants.
Right. Like you see, it shows you the odds right there.
1 in 1.25, 1 in 10, 1 in 20. How interesting. 1 in 25. Oh, I get it. 1 in 100. Oh, the super rare. Okay, I get it. And then obviously this one, 1 in 100. It's a lower pop count, so that one people, collectors or whoever is gonna want to pay. Let's whatever it is. Let me click on it. Can I click on it? No. They're gonna want to pay more than $7. Obviously, they may want to pay $1,000 for that book.
Right. I mean, I'll show you a better example. Let's get off the comics for a little bit, just so you could see a little bit more of what's going on. Hit the store button. Might have to press it a couple times. It's at the bottom left.
Hitting it.
So, you know why? Because you're in right. So go to collectibles. Right now, scroll down, and then you see, like I was telling you, it has like selling fast or something like that. Keep going. Some new arrivals, popular. Right. So selling fast is stuff that has not sold out. Right. So keep going. You're gonna see after 1 even.
Oh,
So, so click on that, for example. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you scroll down, you'll see how many was minted. See what I'm saying? They did 9,999, and this specific one is 1139.
I see.
So again, if you saw that FA said 1983 or whatever year this movie was made, you know what I'm saying? You might want to scoop that up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then sell more than $40. That's for sure. But this is what's not sold out. So when you go to the market, that's where you will see people selling them for different prices based on serial numbers and all types of different factors. And you might see that same one on the market right now being sold for less than 40 gems. Most likely, if you go to the market and show them how the market works. So hit market, right? Then you hit collectibles. No, go to browse brands. I always find it easier to go to browse brands. And then you scroll down till you get to Ghostbusters. And there's a couple of different Ghostbusters. So, okay, so yeah, you went to the right one. So you're going to scroll down to the common, because that's what I think we were looking at, right? That was $40, right? So that's the common. So click on that common Ecto 1. Yeah, and you see all that stuff. They got the Ghostbusters Slimer, the Bogo, the Ghost Trap. Right. So you see how much they're selling it for? Now that's less than if you would have bought it from VEVE. You see what I'm saying?
Oh.
Because people are just trying to get gems because there's another drop tomorrow. So they don't mind taking a look. They might have bought a whole bunch of those and just been like, well, I still got more. So I'll sell one for super cheap just to get, and that adds up because so many people to just an undercutting situation. So there's times when, if there's something in particular you want, a Dick Sprang Batman, and every time you look at it, it's $150. And then that a drop is coming, you might want to start looking at the market because people will start selling it for cheaper than that. So as you look at things, pass them up, keep looking, other drops happen, you see how low it dips, you can start gaining an understanding of like how low it really could go and what its normal floor is. You start gaining an understanding of what all these things are worth in their highs and low points.
Okay. Okay. I'm messing around with this. I
I see
appreciate
it.
you.
I
I,
see it.
I appreciate you taking out this time, man. So pretty much, okay. So I get the point, man. You go through, you buy your gems, you go scoop these up on drop day, $40. You have a chance, or $7, whatever the collectible price is. You have a small chance. They have a print run, and then you have a small chance of getting a shorter print run of whatever the collectible is, and obviously those will sell for more.
Yeah.
Um, the commons seem like they may drop in price because people are trying to move it. Um,
Well, the thing is, it's everything drops in price. The thing is, though, is you don't know that because you've never been on the app. So right now, you just saw Superman, you saw that emblem, and you were like, oh, they got Superman, and you clicked on it. You're going to see the only thing they dropped for Superman is one collectible. So when you look at how much that's for sale at the market, you're going to might see $500 right now. So your perception is, oh, Superman's worth $500. But if you bought Superman during the drop, if you were able to even secure it, there's no guarantee just because you participate, you're going to get one. It's just like when they tell you at your local comic book store, XYZ comic is coming out and they're only getting 100 copies. You show up at whatever time and hope that you're wherever on the line. It's the same thing, but yeah, you don't, so someone bought a Superman for $50 and right now they can sell it for 400. But before this dip happened that we're going through, because there's been so many constant drops, Superman was up to 700. So it's all your perception of when you come in. Now, again, that's considered a common, but it's the only one, and it's not a high mint. So that's why Superman still, the floor is $500. You see what I'm saying? So it's all just kind of your perception of it too, to a degree, because this stuff goes up and down, you know what I'm saying? And when you're talking drops and major drops, everything goes down because like someone's gonna sacrifice what they got, you know what I'm saying? And there's still a floor price that, it's lower than normal because a drop is happening.
right. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, I like if I got it, people want to go and they'll buy 10 of the collectibles trying to get that super rare, and then let's just say 7 out of the 10 are the common, so they'll turn around, take a loss on those
Right.
7, flip them, at a loss, sell the other 3 at a profit, and keep it moving
Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But
or hold on
that
to
whole
it.
scenario, that whole scenario, let's say, is not the same situation than for that same collectible you're looking at. Like that scenario you just spoke of is only in regard to the Mighty Marvels drop and these comic book drops. Why? Because those are being delivered in blind boxes. Every other drop that's happened before that, including that Ghostbusters collectible right there. When you back out, you'll see again, that's a common you're looking at. There's also an uncommon, there's two other ones. So on drop day, you had to know either based on your money or based on you feeling like the odds of me getting, because what happens is if there's only three types available, and you go in trying to get the rarest one and you strike out, by the time it cycles you back to the page where you can purchase another collectible, everything else might be sold out already. So that's the fear, and that's the whole strategy of like, well, I may not even go for the highest one because it's so little and my odds are so low that I might go for the second one down, the rare, instead of the ultra rare, just because if I get the rare, I know for sure that if I want to sell it, it's going to be 5x than what I paid for, 10x, you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. Versus once you start getting into the commons and the uncommons, it's not as guaranteed because it's such a high print run and all this stuff that it's going to be, you're going to be able to flip it for a profit more times than not. You see what I'm saying? Like, meaning when the market is even up, you might still only be able to sell it for retail if you want to really, really sell it. However, if you have a weird mint number, 222, 111, or a sub 100, now you're talking about a collectible that the floor at all times is only $13. The thing costs $7. It's a little Kripken thing. It's a little Chupacabra or Bigfoot. So it was only $7 and people are selling it. Well, but because you have a crazy serial number or low serial number, you can still ask for a higher amount than usual. So that's where even you, because again, the way the drops used to happen was the serial number you got was based on how, in what order you were in, you clicking the buy now button. So some people would go for a common just because they knew everyone's chasing everything else, and they would secure a serial number 50, number 60, you know what I'm saying? Something super low. And that way they could sell a common for a super high price still. So it was all types of strategies going on versus a blind box. You're spending $7, I'm spending $7. We don't know what we're going to get. So that's why I'm saying it's a little different.
Okay. So I got you. Oh, look, a DeLorean.
There's a DeLorean, baby.
That's it right there, bro. So, all right. So I got it. So pretty much you go in, put your gems in, put your USD, turn it into gems, go and scoop up whatever collectible you want. Each collectible seems like the drop is a little bit different, depending on the flavor or what have you.
Right.
Going back to the comics, here we go. These are the comics that are for sale in the marketplace. So these are real people who earlier today scooped up. And again, I don't know if I mentioned it. Today's the first day, the first drop from Marvel issue 1. This is the first Marvel comic. That's the original Human Torch, who was an android in the comics, but it's not Johnny Storm. It's someone else.
Right.
So
very interesting. I still got to read it myself, man. 68 long pages. See what's going
dude,
on.
it's great. Yeah, man, that's a lot of pages. So this right here is people who paid $7 for the drop earlier today, and these are people selling it. I'm looking at, wow, $1,000. Am I 1,000 gems? $8. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy. But
Yeah.
$7. Oh, look, somebody's selling a rare copy. You see there on the left-hand side of the screen. That is one of the rare variant covers, and they're selling it for $150.
So you see one right next to it.
For 10K.
That's a common.
But yeah,
10K.
I mean, ain't nobody gonna pay that.
Someone, you'll be surprised because I really haven't shown you this. Why I want to show you some of the other collectibles, and show you really where this can go. Even in a dip, I want you to see something. Let's try again. You got to go to store again. Go to show brands. You might have to go down or up. I'm not sure. I know up they have a tab for it. So right, brands to the right. All right. Go down. Let's see. You know what? Yeah. Go to choices, Jermaine. Jermaine Rogers there.
I'm sorry. Did I? What did you want me to click
Choices,
on?
choices on the left with the rabbit.
Oh, choices. Wow, I'm blind. All right.
All right. So this is made by artist Jermaine Rogers. He has a lot of these rabbits here, right? So when you scroll down, me personally, I own that ultra rare, right? I got that during a drop. So click on that one, right? Scroll down. All right. So that was $90, right? Now click the 97 for sale in the market. Now keep in mind, this is in a super down market. See how it's 580?
Yes.
When I first got it and we opened up the market, it was selling for 900, and it stayed at like 800 for like a week or two until the new drop was announced. So obviously, there's people selling off, but you could easily see, you know, and this is not a normal floor. Again, this is, there's only like 800 made, so the floor is usually around 1,000. So that's just for that. You know what I'm saying? Let's back out. Let me show you something a little more relatable, or a little more crazy. Because right after the day that they did that drop, they did a secret rare drop and dropped some gold ones. Now go back. And the gold one is worth more now. You can go down. Take you into, keep going. Keep going. All right, try one of those Ghostbusters runs. We go back because that's where the actual one is. Yeah, we have to scroll down or something. They should show you all of their stuff in there. They have more than the actual one.
You want me to go back into Ghostbusters?
Go to black and white, Harley Quinn or Da Vinci. Any of that is fine. All right, go to the ultra rare Harley Quinn. Go down. So she was $80. Check out how much she is in the market. Let's see. There you go. You see the floor, and this is in a down market. So normally her floor was like 8 G's.
What in the world?
So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, people will spend 10 G's for that comic, but it has to make sense. You know what I'm saying? If that mint was in the 500s, yeah, all day, because like I was telling you before, they skim off a certain amount for giveaways, for the company, for Marvel, for different stuff. So this mint count for the comic started at 500. So that's why, like my boy, he actually got the secret ultra rare one, and he put it up for $1 million. And he mainly did that because someone else had theirs up for more than $1 million. So he's just following their lead. Now, will someone buy that? We don't know. Most of the people, most of the whales that have that type of money, they're smart enough to know that the market goes up and down. And normally, right after a drop, everything is priced a little higher than where you will see it go after that. So most of them would not bite on that million. But what's the floor? Is it 800,000? I mean, I don't know. Is that just a ridiculous, maybe, the 5 people who are selling it that have those low mints are just all bugging out? We don't know what's going to happen. We got to see. We got to see where the floor settles. But either way, I mean, what is the real comic selling for? Now we have to start questioning and putting it into perspective. What's the real worth of a number one, you know what I'm saying, of a first issue digital version of a number one physical issue? And my copy's not going to degrade. It's not going to burn. No one can steal it. I don't know where this goes.
And virtual reality, I really do think that that's the future. I don't know if you watch Gary Vanderchuck, and
No,
yeah, he talks. He's a big proponent of that's where the future is at,
are
and
you talking about Gary
he's
V?
I'm sorry.
Talking about Gary V?
Yeah, Gary V.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, you know, and he talks about how that's going to take people's attention right now. Social media. He says that you know um, VR is going to take the people's attention like social
And
media
the
did.
AR, it's the AR, bro. It's the augmented reality. The VR is virtual. That's nice. But the augmented is the another level.
Talk to me about this another level because I'm not educated on this subject enough.
So if something's virtual, I would perceive it more as like you rendered the area and now I'm just in it. I can't really interact with it. Versus I'm augmenting my reality. I'm able to change and bend it and alter it. It's augmented. So that right there is telling you that there's two different environments they're talking about. One is more of a locked in environment. So even if I put on Oculus and play a game, no matter how expanded that game is, there's still certain things you can't do. You see what I'm saying? Because it's just a game. So it's their game. If it's a horror game, it's a horror game. I can't go and just be like, oh, I own a G.I. Joe NFT. It's digital. I should be able to use that character instead of this character in the game. You can't do that. That's what augmented reality would be. And that's what they're doing is they're able to merge metaverses. So like VEVE might have their own metaverse, but then there are other NFTs companies out there and things out there. There's whole worlds and stuff that recreate our literal world, acre per acre. You know what I'm saying? So you could have a visual representation of one of your NFTs as yourself in that world when they're able to merge the metaverses together. You know what I'm saying?
You see,
So that's where it's really going. So first they're going to cultivate their own space. And as that's happening and as we move into the future and people start using the same way as we use the internet in a very narrow space in the beginning, it's the same way as we're using the Ethereum blockchain and everything in a narrow space. So as it starts growing, you know what I'm saying, we'll figure out more how things interact more, you know what I'm saying? And
I love it. I really do think that I believe in this being the future. I just didn't know exactly how, or I still am not 100% sure exactly how. I know you're talking about it, but I'm curious
right,
to see where it goes. You know, I want to see it in you know in use in real application. And again, Ready Player One, we were talking about it, and excellent book, excellent movie. Um, and I think that we're eventually, it may not be next year, but I do think that that's where we're eventually going to go. Our technology is evolving. You know, this whole thing of the cell phone, I think one day we're going to look at it and be like, man, that's old school. Like if we look back
oh
at
yeah,
rotary phones.
oh yeah. I mean, just the fact that we need to hold it is a hindrance in itself. Like it's okay, it works for where we come from. Hey, at least it ain't a cord attached to it. But that's what happens when you evolve from stuff or you're born into stuff and that's all you know. But you know, I've seen crazy technology to be honest with you. I've seen years ago, back when I think the Galaxy S4 was out, I've seen them show the technology already. They literally the same way as you have like a Fitbit wristband, they had a wristband on. And when they turned it on, it literally was the same thing that's your home screen with all your apps on it and the clock at the top, the bars, all of that. it was just projected onto the person's forearm, and then they were swiping their arm, and it was swiping the different things, just like on your phone. So literally, you're using your phone on your arm. You know what I'm saying? And you don't need to carry nothing. Like your hands is free, literally now with that. So you could turn it around, put it on your forearm if you're driving or whatever. And then you're not even talking about holographic technology where you're able to project it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen stuff where the person's car is a self-driving car. They're able to take their phone stuff and project it onto the windshield. Then the passenger can project their stuff on their half of the windshield. They're not worrying about driving the cars. The car's driving itself. They're just sitting there doing stuff on their phone, but like touching the glass in the car. Or, they got all of this crazy stuff, man.
You
It's a
know,
lot.
it's not, I know this may sound crazy to some, but you just have to
Yeah,
be open-minded and looking at, a future of us being able to put on a visor and a la Ready Player One, and
right.
you enter this whole nother universe, this whole reality type of deal, where you have these NFTs that you've collected, and you're able to show off your DeLorean or your comic book collection, or you could lay back and go through your Marvel issue 1, and read it, and whatever the case is, or just have it on display, and so I think it's definitely something that's in the future. The fact that the demand, this is just scratching the surface. The demand is only going to go up. I mean, you never know. There's no guarantees, but this thing just is starting. This is the first time today. Today's the first time. This is the very, very beginning. So the fact that we're getting in the very, or you got in and you're putting me on at the start, day one. Tomorrow will be
What's up,
the second drop. Well,
bro? There's only 100,000, maybe 150 at this point, thousand users on this app. Put that in perspective. I mean, that's not a lot of people. Not when
no.
you're talking these brands involved. And these people haven't even done any marketing yet. You haven't seen not one commercial, not a poster, not nothing. But when it starts, you may not be able to go anywhere and not see this stuff because they're literally associated with everybody else. I mean, there's over 100 plus licenses. And I mean, you've seen some of the stuff in there already. So it's just ridiculous. I mean, there's no one that's going to be able to come into this space and really take them on and do anything that they're not doing. They might be able to do something else, like in a game form, but it's still not going to be this. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be different than what they have.
So no other company is giving competition to Vivo. Vivo has exclusivity to Marvel,
Yeah, BB does. And BB made and Marvel made sure of that. You know what I'm saying? On their end too, they made it to where even when things open up in the future and you're able to cross their NFTs over into other spaces, Marvel made it to where they don't want their stuff crossed over, from what I heard. So it's already built in like that. And that's also in part why, like I was saying before, their NFTs on that space is the first ones where they actually get a residual income. They get like a certain percentage off of every time it's sold.
okay.
So it's very interesting. Like how you saw the Rabbits, Jermaine Rogers. That's another African American artist. You know what I'm saying, from the inner city, real dude. You know what I'm saying, just trying to make it in the art world with his line. You know what I'm saying, he got backstab rabbits and not backstab rabbits. He got his line of the bunnies. You know what I'm saying, assassin rabbits and all that. Then you got Kozik. These people are like known in the art world. You know what I'm saying, so they're trying to step into all these different genres and corral people in that way. You know what I'm saying. So when they do a drop with football player during football season, there's some running back with Saquon Buck doing the stiff on, you know what I'm saying, a crazy Heisman pose or something. And then what if it's interactive? What if it's animated? You tap him and then he does some end zone crazy stuff, and then it start getting crazy where they have multiple players, and now I got defensive players, you got offensive, and then we both got them in augmented reality and they're interacting, and it could really get crazy to where, you have your whole team of NFTs and I got mine, and you can put them in a space and it looks like we're really using real people. Like John Madden, we on the football field with them, like,
This
and see them interact.
this is very, very, very exciting. Very exciting. I got involved with that other God, man, I could look it up right now. I have it on my phone, but it's fine. That app where you can buy fractional ownership of sport cards. I got involved with that. Got burned. Realized that it's just um, there's look. Maybe some people like that platform, but I feel that it's a scam. I felt that it was just straight up a rip. I literally would get in on drops, buy a portion, of that card, and every time I did, it would drop in value. And what was weird, what bothered me was that card, because they had a that it's a real card, like a legit real card. You're buying a fraction of it. In real life, the card would be worth, let's just say, $10,000, but on the app, it would be worth like
Or
three
seven.
times that. It
Oh,
would say
really?
30,000, but then the problem
Wow.
was that you would have so many people who bought into it, so that's what would drive up the price. And I'm like, yo, there should be a limit. There should have been like a better limit than what they had.
Right.
Like it just
Market cap.
I did not like the way it was set up. So anyway, long story short, I got burned. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna even get involved. And then Top Shot, I didn't get involved with it. I looked at it briefly, but I was like, you know,
You're like, what am I buying here? Video clips? What's going on over here? It's
yeah,
like,
I was like, I'm not. I don't know. It's just I couldn't wrap my head around it. Oh, by the way, you see, there's 65 pages on that book.
wow. So that's the angel. That's called the angel.
Now we're moving on over to Angel.
18.
So yeah, man. So okay, so I don't know. I'm assuming the original book was this amount of pages. I don't know.
Yeah, man. This is exact.
Yeah,
This is
so
literally
yeah, it must
exact.
be. So anyway,
And
so
that's another thing, real quick. That's another thing, real quick, bro, to touch on is whether you're poor or whether you got multiple millions of dollars. I mean, I can't speak for Google. I never really went on my way to sign up for any sites where I could read comics. I'm sure they have that.
yeah,
But just the ability to own my own, and this, I just started getting into buying already graded comics and iconic cover comics and stuff like that. And that's cool when it's graded and owning all that. But at the end of the day, you can't read it. And even if you wanted to read it, like you were saying before, with your own comic, you sitting there feeling like you gotta use tweezers and some rubber gloves or something. And it's like, it's a nerve-wracking experience. I can't just chill and read. I can't, while I'm on my vacation, catch up with this book. Because I ain't bringing that book with me.
no.
I ain't bringing Submariner #1. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy to think like I have all of these, my whole collection is not even taking up any space in my house. And I have all the key issues I want.
It's funny. You bring up a good point. I recently submitted for the first time to CGC, and I took out my Wolverine first appearance, my Galactus Silver Surfer first appearance. I was bringing out all the big dogs, and I took them out for the first time out of their covers. And
Give them a good read, right?
bro, I had my door locked because I didn't want the kids to come in here start going crazy. I
Right.
was handling them with care, not even opening them up completely. You
But way,
know,
exactly.
and I'm like, man, this is crazy.
Nerve wracking.
It's very nerve wracking. So I'm not gonna read that. You think that's it? I sent it off. It's gonna be sealed in that, and
And
then
now it's sealed, and now I really can't even read it. Like that's my thing with buying already graded comics that I like. Is like again, unless I want to sit out here and go out my way and search on Google for whatever company it is that lets me pay $14 a month to sit here and buy or read, all these books digitally. That's cool, but it's just a whole different effect. And You know what I'm saying? This right here, this is way better. Like everything's right there.
Right, right. So I'm digging it. I'm the fact that everybody collects, practices the hobby in their own way. Me, I'm a collector, right? And this I would love to have the original of, but obviously this is a touch out of my price range. So something like
It's a
this,
fact.
you know what I'm saying? I like. I can go ahead and read. This is something I've never owned, so I can sit back and really read it. And then the fact, so that just like as you mentioned, just the fact that I can hold on to it, have a kind of a digital copy of it, which there are websites out there that you can pay them a month, as you mentioned, and you can read these comic books. But this particular serial numbered one is mine. This is mine. The
And you
one you
can
gave me is mine forever.
only pay $7 for it.
Right, and I only paid $7. I'm gonna pay at least around there if I went to my LCS to get a reprint of this, and the reprint
But
is not gonna. Yes, sir.
here's the question. Here's the difference between the $7 reprint and your $7 investment here. Is which one is more likely to be worth something nice in 10 years from now?
It's this.
The reprint or this?
It's this because the reprint is gonna be mass produced, printed to you know what, and this we already know.
Has a finite number. Even if we want to say, oh, they printed 60,000 of it, it's still only 60. Still 60. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a full 60. It's only 48,000 or whatever is the common. Then the cover varies, from there. So it's still a limited quantity. Again, when you're talking 300,000 users, 60,000, and not all of them is going to be for sale. Who knows what they're worth? I don't know.
Man, the more we talk about it, the more excited I get about this product. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and put in some money into the Vivo app. And tomorrow's the second drop. I'm gonna get the Journey into Mystery 85, first appearance of Thor, and then Fantastic Four issue 1, first appearance of the Fantastic Four on the day after that. I do believe, which is Saturday.
Saturday, 11 a.m. Sharp.
Yes.
I mean, sharp. You better be on there at least 5 to 10 minutes before.
I'm definitely gonna do it. So that's a lot of information, but I definitely am with it. I'm intrigued. At the very least, for $7. I have a copy of a iconic issue digitally that I can go ahead and read whenever I want. I have a chance of getting a super rare issue, which right from jump, I will have something that's worth a whole lot more than $7. So I have a
Right,
chance of that. At least in the comic books, I noticed that I have a 10% chance of getting one of the rare ones versus a
right,
common. And
right,
again, if I don't get that to that rare one, that's fine. For $7, I have this. And
right,
when Marvel starts pumping this, and this the demand is going to go through the roof when more and more people start hearing about this, and they're going to say, "Oh wait, the first one, I want that
yeah,
Marvel issue 1, I want that." And right now, you can
exactly.
get this thing for a steal. I'm thinking
You
about
can get it for less than $7 right now in the market. There's people
yeah,
selling
I
for five,
saw.
what,
I
just
saw. So I'm thinking of maybe buying a few of those. And you know what? I'll sit on it and I'll
yeah.
I'll go ahead and sell them if need be, if it goes up in value, you know?
Right.
So
That's my thing, man. It's getting, it's just like the card game and everything else, man. I try to get doubles or as many as I can, grade them up, you know what I'm saying? Maybe keep, the lowest grade, the mid grade, and sell the others and, make my bread back and then some. And as long as I still got one left, you know what I'm saying? It's cool. Couple left.
I agree. I definitely agree, man. Um so do you know if after these first three, they're gonna have more of the Marvel comic drops?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure of it. They have a tendency to drop Easter eggs.
Okay.
So what some people discovered, there's a great community out there of Omi and VEVE. people. You know what I'm saying? And basically, somebody showed how. All right, so they come out with these articles on. It's called Medium, and they drop usually like a day before the drop, so like a Wednesday. And long story short, let's say how you see an image right there on your screen, it's showing you, you know, the comic book cover, and then when you scroll down a little, it has like words about, you know, what's involved with the cover when it was printed, you know, all the stuff we read before. But what someone noticed was behind the bottom of the picture, like how it's white at the bottom there on your screen, there was actually another picture like faded in, mixed into the comic. So they had another comic superimposed behind the cover for this one we're looking at, and it was actually Captain America. So,
Oh,
like I was telling you before, there's a couple of YouTubers out there who people are wondering, like, who the heck these people are because they have so much stuff in advance. One of them's name is Crypto Crayons. He drops a lot of stuff. Like basically, if you were to go to his page and you go back even a month from now, he'll have stuff that you know VEVE has a license for it, but they still haven't even put it out yet. And he's playing with it and all mixed in reality and showing it to you. You know, he'll sit there he'll be like, you know, tell me what you want to see in the comments. You know, people will put whatever, and then within a couple of days he'll have it. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know if he worked for the company, what's going on, who he is. You know, but yeah, it's a lot, man. It's a
very
lot.
exciting, very exciting. So, all right, so we got it. We have some drops with Vivo. This is the first drop today. Marvel issue one. $5 increments is how you know deposit your money, and if you're interested, you obviously it's not just comics. You have other ones, but if you're interested in the comics, they're about $7 each on the drop. You have a chance of getting rares and super rares and ultra rares and all that good stuff. Um, and then you can resell them on the marketplace, or you can buy them um, back in the marketplace. So it's just like anything, like the
I've done
stock
that
market.
actually many a times, brother. I treat this just like stocks or crypto or anything else. There's times when I bought certain collectibles that I've kept an eye on. Let's say I've seen something that normally, you know, is out my price range is 700, and then, you know, let's say you know, I participated in a drop. I got a great minted secret rare, and I sold it for a couple hundred. Now I got a couple hundred gems. Boom, out of spending 50, you know, and I just happened to get lucky and I got a secret rare. So now it's selling. Now I got all these gems. And now I'm looking at all these collectibles that are rare and, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't get my hands on, and they're selling for cheaper because everybody else is trying to get gems again for the next drop. So, you know, you might buy something at 300, knowing that a lot of the times it's just fluctuating between 5 and 700. And right now, for whatever reason, people just undercutting and letting it go. So you grab it up. You know, you might, if you could grab two, you might grab two. And then all of a sudden, when they go back up to where they normally settle at, might be 600. You know what I'm saying? You sell it all. You're like, yeah, I just made 300 gems. Like, now I could buy two more or something else I wanted, or who knows, whatever else. You know what I'm saying? And that's how a lot of people slowly build their collection up. There's people who will snipe off the market. They'll find people selling this stuff real cheap there. They'll buy it. They will literally repost the same thing they just bought 5 seconds ago, repost it for what they think it really should be worth. And they'll just sit on it and let it sit on the marketplace until it sells. Because there's a lot of whales and people who look at stuff for, you know, other qualities like the serial numbers being doubles and, you know, stuff like that.
So I have a question. How often? I know this is the very first comic, so it's hard to say. And then the demand is just is not there just yet where it can go with Marvel, because obviously Marvel is a huge brand. But let me ask you something. Um, the other collectibles that have been out for a little bit, I noticed that the commons, and you mentioned it. Should I say you mentioned it? The commons drop down in value. So let's just say it was $50 at drop, and then now 2 days after the drop, the commons are, I don't know, selling for $30. Where do you see that going? Do you ever see it going back up to match the initial drop price, or pretty much the commons are gonna dip in value and kind of get settled in a value point where it's still less than the initial drop price. Have you noticed anything like that?
Yes and no, just because when we're getting into the semantics of calling things common, it gets a little, that's where it's a weird thing. Because again, there's only one Superman dropped, and that's labeled a common for some reason. And buying that one Superman completes a whole set for some reason. So it's very weird because it's like, if buying one Superman completes a whole set, you're telling me there's no more Supermans to come out. So why would this even be common? If you only made 800 Supermans or 1,000 or whatever the mint count is, look, it's pretty low. It shouldn't even be considered common, especially when looking at anything else called the common. So there are a couple of other things like Superman that may not be priced the same as Superman, but no matter what, they're nowhere near what they came out for when the drop happened. And again, even though they were called the common, when you looked at the mint count, you said, oh, there's only 1,500 being made. My odds of even getting one in this drop, even though I got the $50, is very low. So once, the drop was over, different things happened to different collectibles. So even though that's a common, after the drop, that thing's being resold for 1,100 floor.
I got you.
Versus a Kripkins or Americarmo or Unicorno, things that you never heard of, and they're just little collectibles that were, super high numbers, and they were only like, I think $8 when they came out. Yeah, as soon as after the drop, it was such a high count, people were selling them off. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it just, when you're trying to go after the super rare and the rare during the drop, when you click it and then it's pausing and then it tells you after a second or two you didn't get it. And then for you to get back to the buy page, it costs another 5 seconds. By the time you get there and you click on the next one down, the rare, that's sold out already. Then you go to uncommon, it's sold out. And the only thing left is the commons. So you're like, do I at least get some commons so I can at least have some of these, or do I not buy none? So that's where you're experiencing this stuff and understanding how the market goes, kind of, and what you even want. It's different stuff involved. But yeah, all types of different stuff happens to the collectibles after the drops. Some go dramatically higher. And I'll tell you, as far as highs, most highs, no matter whether something's 11,000 right now or 8,000, whatever it is, like that Harley Quinn, no matter where it is, most likely right after the drop is when it hit a high that it never hit again. So if you're gonna buy something for the sake of flipping it, that you're cool with parting ways of it, because on most drops you're not gonna get 2 secret rares. It doesn't happen. They kind of make sure you don't get that. So if you're cool with parting with that highest end one and a crazy serial number, you better sell it as soon as the market reopens, because that's when you'll get the most for it.
Got you. All right, man. So once again, thank you for the info. Thank you for the comic book, my very first NFT. I really do appreciate it, brother. I really do. And then also the knowledge, man.
Sir, man.
And
On this drop tomorrow, man, 11 a.m. sharp. Be on there a little earlier, everybody. Like and subscribe, man. More to come from Big Card, that's for sure.
yo, for sure. And we need to make a video about Tops no longer having the MLB license. And then you mentioned that hot off the press, something I haven't even heard, that what was that you mentioned about Panini?
Right. So basically, well, the whole thing is that Fanatics, at first they outbid Tops for the licensing for MLB. And then more news broke that basically they outbid everybody else, anyone else for football and basketball. So, basically that puts Panini out, Tops out. Only ones left is like Upper Deck, but they weren't involved with those sports anyway. Upper deck only has like hockey and
Yeah, the
something
young
else.
guns and stuff. That's it, man.
Like top, so they got leopards like what Star Wars,
F1.
like WWE.
I think they.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah,
gonna fold. These got both of them. Oh, and on top of that, they secured the Players Association licenses too. So you know how it is those offshoot brands where they're allowed to make them with no logos on their jersey. Yeah, they secured the players, the teams, and the logos.
damn,
So
man.
you can't.
I
I
didn't
don't know how I'm gonna
realize
feel
how
about
big
seeing
Fanatics
like
was.
how's it gonna look though? Like on your card, like Fanatics rookie card, da da da. Like I'm hoping that they just absorb the brands, pay them off, and just keep the different variations going, but revamp how things are going and still keep those variations going. Because I don't want my cards to say Fanatics on it, bro. Sorry, it's gonna look funny.
The thing is, Tops is so iconic. It's so
Right.
iconic. I collect my Topps Chrome is the rookie card of choice for anybody that's new, you know. But again, as you mentioned, how do I feel about it saying Fanatics? I don't know, man. I really don't. But on Sunday, I'm planning on meeting with Fast Eddie P, who's knows a lot about wax, has been collecting for a long time, knows a lot about vintage baseball, and we can chop it up. We're gonna do it. The recording is gonna be Sunday night. We're talking about nine o'clock. So if you can do it, let's link up. We'll do the same setup. And this video right here, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna wrap it up right here. I'm gonna stop the recording, but you and I can stay talking for another couple of minutes, so we can, you know,
Yeah.
coordinate something. So, all right. Any last words you want to say before I kill the recording?
Man, not much, man. Just good luck to everybody who's going to participate in the drop. Again, they got one for tomorrow. I guess that's the 20th, Friday.